Hey y'all, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I am having freaking computer issues. My camera is not picking up. Like, it was not allowing me to do what I was trying to do. I was over here on Google trying to figure out like what's the issue. I didn't call Jeremy, blaming him. Like, I'm like, what the world is going on? I don't know what happened. So that's why I'm on my phone. I figured like maybe I can go live on my phone, and it did work, but now the um the dimensions are a little off, so I'm super annoyed. So if y'all see me looking back and forth, because I would prefer to look at my computer screen, but we're gonna have to just do it on the phone, y'all. We're gonna have to do it on the phone tonight. Anyways, I know y'all have been waiting. I'm so sorry. If I would have known, I even tried to like go to, if y'all know what to do, tell me. Cause I try, or I'm gonna play around with it. But let me make sure y'all can hear me because I'm on my phone. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Cause I don't want to get to hollering. I'm not gonna be hollering tonight, but I don't want to get to talking. And I didn't charge up my computer and all of that. Y'all can hear me? Okay. I'm so mad. I hate when my devices, and I really need to replace this computer because it's been getting on my last nerves. This is like something completely different. Okay, let me not focus on that. I'm gonna have to just look into the camera after, because I even tried to do FaceTime and it wasn't allowing me to like see myself. I tried to like Google what to do. I tried a few different things and it's just so annoying because I don't know what the freak happened. Like, I have no idea. It would pick today when I'm trying to go live. But hey y'all, I hope it's not too late. It is a glorious Monday. I have so much exciting news, y'all. I had to get some tissue. Where'd my tissue go? Y'all, I didn't did all this. I didn't lost the dang on tissue. Oh, there you go. My computer is on it. I had to get me some tissue. I don't even have my Kleenex. Hopefully I don't shed no tears or nothing. It's happy tears. It's definitely been an emotional day. It's been an emotional last year. It's just been real emotional, y'all, behind the scenes. I have been dealing with a lot of stuff. I tell y'all all the time, and then I tell y'all there's things I just cannot talk about. I can't talk about until I handle it, because a lot of people, they just hear the talking on the internet and they think it's like entertainment. They feel like it's very like this is a show, like you tuning in, like you watching Real Housewives or something. And it's my real life. It's my real life. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good, y'all. I got to come on here and I got to give my testimony that when you really have faith in God and you really are a good person, like he's going to literally handle your battles for you. Because when I tell y'all, y'all don't know how many times I done sat and cried. My village is great. My friends, my family, the people who know me in real life, see, I'm getting teary. My village has been amazing. My village has been amazing. And most importantly, you guys. Like, a lot of y'all, I'm gonna try to read the no comments pulling up part. Wait, they're not coming up on my phone like they were on this. Oh yes, they are. Okay, I had to touch the screen. Oh y'all, I'm getting so emotional because it's just been so heavy dealing with all this stuff behind the scenes, me battling, discussing certain things, talking about what I've had to do, what I've had to overcome. And literally, after I walked out of court today, and called all my loved ones and told them the great news of me winning my case today, I just knew. I was like, you know what? Should I discuss this? Should I just keep pushing? Like, what should I do? Act like nothing ever happened? And it just came over me that I was like, you know what? This situation right here and how it was handled, only God. Literally only God, because the strength, I don't know where I found it to continue to endure this. People who know me in real life always ask me, or always are like encouraging me, like, girl, I don't know how you push through with a smile on your face, be an outstanding mother, do your business, like, and you just keep going. You just keep going. You don't fold. You don't waver. You're super resilient. I have been named the resilient queen. Seriously. And I don't have an answer until today, because as shaky as I was to wake up as I prepared for court, I've been preparing for this for a very long time, and that's why I was so emotional standing in that courtroom dealing with what I had to deal with by myself, just a lone soldier. And I've had help throughout behind the scenes, which I'm going to share with y'all. Some of y'all also have helped behind the scenes. So I don't want to give nobody's name or anything. Y'all know I appreciate y'all, but I don't need no targets on nobody's head for y'all already know. I know the majority of you guys who are watching are super supporters and like are championing me with this victory and what I'm about to share with you guys. Y'all are going to be so disappointed in the actions of other people and just the scenario in general. But some of y'all are not. Some of y'all are watching because y'all are mad, y'all are upset, y'all are nosy, y'all are praying on a downfall or figuring out like another thing that you can do. And ultimately, like I said, my faith is with God, and I know that there's nothing that He can't do as long as I remember who has the last say. And yes, He has given me some of the best supporters that a girl has ever asked for. Like, I know a lot of y'all see the fuckery, y'all see craziness happening all the time, but some of y'all, like, y'all forever have a place in my heart, because especially even with this situation and other stuff y'all are helping me with still that we can't talk about yet, like, y'all just continue to support. So I want to tell y'all about my case today. And before I get started, God is so good because my warrant was granted. Criminal charges have been pressed. I went before a judge and presented my evidence. I couldn't even bring all the evidence with me. For one, I had enough evidence with me. I didn't even have to share all of the evidence. For two, that's how crazy all of this was. But just to finally have my voice be heard in a situation like a courtroom where people have to be held accountable, and this is not the internet where you can hide behind aliases and, you know, all the foolishness that a lot of people think that they're hiding behind. But when you pay good money and you hire the right people, nothing, and I mean nothing is private. Nothing. Texting, apps, all of that can be uncovered. And I had made a decision once the situation happened last year that I was not going to let this one go. So let's go ahead and get into it. Are y'all ready? Let's throw some keys in the chat to let me know y'all are ready. Like we need to really get prepared for this foolishness, because I'm going to tell you guys what happened and what's taken place over the last year in its entirety, and to how we got here right now, because this testimony needs to be heard and some people need to just be aware. I hope my story inspires other people to be vigilant. This has prepared me and has made me even more aware than I already am right now, and how I've had to have been for these last few years. I've shared several stories of people and the stalkers and the trolls and the millions and trillions of things that they do on a regular to try to sabotage my life, sabotage my relationships, not just personal relationships, friend relationships, business relationships. I'm talking about watching my every move, being in my mix with my children, all of that. So, a little backstory. We all know that I am a content creator, and I've been a content creator for the last almost 10 years. And part of that, back in 2021, that is when the bulk of my harassment ensued from a group of people who shall not be named at this time, because that's for another day. But we all know the story and the backstory of that. And within that group of people, there were spectators who sat amongst these group of people and fell into the trap of being entertained about my demise. And we already know I've spoken publicly about contacting my brand deals, trying to make and successfully making me have paused brand deals, costing me over $200,000, which is a criminal offense, harassment of employment making terroristic threats, doxing me, doxing family members, all of those things have been recorded. I don't even have to go. There's a long laundry list. There's things have been proven. If you don't believe it, you don't have to believe it. This is, like I said, I got to go to court because I'm not here to be on the platform for YouTube to tell me what's right and what's wrong. The judge has made the decision, and they said I was right about everything that I have been discussing. But I've sat back and I've had to suffer. I've sat back. I went on TikTok a couple of weeks ago, and I made quite a few posts, y'all, over the course of like 3 days. And then I got busy, y'all, with work in real life because I can't be like all these other people who be on the internet just talking on like forever and never. I got to get back to work. But I went on there, and there was so much more I had to say, especially because a lot of it had something to do with my case that I'm sharing with you guys right now. But you guys have seen where I've had to suffer in silence. I made that very clear on TikTok, on my TikTok rant, if you want to call it that I've been suffering in silence for years. I've had my supporters be silenced. I've never seen a platform where supporters have to be silenced in support of the person they're supporting, like, or they're being threatened to be doxxed, or threatened for their mama's job to be called, or threatened to have their child exploited. Like, if you support me, if you outrightly support me and tell people like they're wrong, we see you're doing wrong things to this person's kids, this person's family, we're going to now dox you. We're going to now bother you. So over the course of these last few years, I decided, like, it's probably best to just suffer in silence. I don't need people to put themselves out there on the line for me, because a lot of other people's lives have been affected. A lot of other people have had to go to court, have had to deal with stuff legally, have had to deal with their own personal lives and families being disgruntled because of other people who dislike me for whatever reason. And this is not here to say if your distaste for me is valid or not. It's just there's a thin line between liking someone and breaking the law. I don't think a lot of people understand that. So I've been suffering in silence. I've been enduring a lot of things. And one of the things in particular happened last September. So last year, we all heard that I got my real estate license because not only do I love real estate, but like I said on my community post today, one of the number one things or top 3 reasons why I got my real estate license, one was for protection of my kids. I wanted to choose another career field where I can be in love, happy, but protect my kids at the same time. With real estate, as I thought until this situation that just happened, was a great way to do that. The second thing was for privacy. I've been blogging almost every single day since I started YouTube. And I needed some privacy. People saw me before I had kids. People saw me get pregnant, have a miscarriage, get pregnant again, go through all of that, infidelity. Like, everybody just been all in my business, which is okay to an extent until people get crazy and a sense of entitlement to my personal life. And so I got my real estate license. Oh, the last thing, third point, peace of mind. I just felt like it would be more peace of mind for me to have my real estate license because it's something I love to do. I don't have to work as hard with editing when I'm not ready to be on camera. I don't have to really be on camera, because before, it's not like I had to, because I had several businesses. The money was great along all of them, but I feel until I'm a millionaire and my kids are put up somewhere, I'm going to work until I can't work no more. So that's just how my mentality was. Like, I don't care what I'm going through. I don't care what I'm suffering with. I still got to post my content. I still got to make this money because I got stuff that I got to handle for my 3 kids. So I decided to do real estate because of those 3 reasons. My first brokerage, I announced the big announcement of me getting licensed with Keller Williams. And of course, the trolls did try to contact Keller Williams on multiple occasions as soon as I posted it and tell them like they should terminate me. They don't know who they're dealing with, just yada yada, stuff like that. Immediately, my broker did let them know very quickly, like, we're not playing that. We already know about her YouTube trolls, and y'all call up here if you want to. We're going to prosecute you. Keisha's protected. She does pay her insurance. You pay insurance to your brokerage when you are licensed under them, and we will use our attorney if we need be. And we kind of really never heard from them again. Then I moved on to my second brokerage, which has a lot to do with this story. Shout out to them. I'm no longer with them. They were amazing, great, but that's not where we're here today. Back In September of 2023, I held an open house. This open house, typically when y'all see me post about real estate, y'all don't really see me post too much about open houses. My brokerages have been real nervous until this case was done, like about me posting. My team lead, Chanel, has always been amazing. So anything that needs to be put in place for protecting me behind the scenes have always been put in place to protect me. But y'all don't really see me announce open houses, maybe a little bit here and there. But y'all typically just really see the closing of the deal. That's it. And that's for a reason, because I have had crazy people. So back in September 2023, I had an open house, and that open house was for my home. Didn't announce it. At that time, I didn't even share that I was selling my home. Since then, I have shared that I'm selling my home because of this incident and me having to do all this other stuff. So September 23rd, September 2023, actually, I think it was September 23rd, 2023, but yeah, so September 2023, prepare my open house, got all the snacks, got everything set up. You know, this is my personal home. So this is something very serious to me. The girls were here. They were not supposed to be here. Jeremy had planned to come and get them and take them somewhere, but we were at the house. It's not, realtors do it all the time. I know plenty of my realtor friends who bring their kids for this, that, and the third. Not all the time or all the way often, but this is my personal home, so it's a little bit different. So he couldn't come back at the time that he was supposed to. So the first portion of the open house, he was not physically there yet. But it was okay, because I'm like, okay, who's gonna really come like right when, I can't remember what time it was. I believe the open house was probably like 11 to 1 or something like that. So I'm like, who's gonna really get here at 11 o'clock on the dot type of thing? And it was raining really bad that day. So I'm like, even if people don't come, it's okay. So minding my business, I get a knock on the door. No, actually, I didn't get a knock on the door. My cameras went off. I have cameras around my entire home. The cameras alerted my phone and told me somebody was here. I looked at the cameras and I like kind of squinted. I'm seeing, because it's raining, and I see, oh, it's a mom and 2 kids with her. 2 older kids, not elementary, middle, high school. And I'm like, okay. So I told the girls, like, hey, we got someone here. Just sit right here and wait. I was still getting the cookies out of the cookie little thing, the little soft cookies from Publix or whatever. I was still getting those put out on the tray. And yeah, so I went, opened the door. The person comes in, they immediately like look around and like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. Like, I love this house. Like, I'm looking for a home. She asked, should she take off her shoes? I had shoe covers. I was like, yeah, take off your shoes. You have shoe covers. Immediately, God told me to protect my girls. God said to me at that very moment. So I don't know if you've ever been to an open house, but typically the setup for an open house is that the door remains unlocked. You can put a note on the handle and says knock or ring the doorbell, but typically for open houses, the door stays unlocked and people just come to the house, open up, come in. There's an agent or 2 agents sitting in the kitchen somewhere with their little setting, little snacks, maybe little sign in, blah, blah, blah. If you've ever been to an open house. And luckily, since it was raining, I had not set everything up. So everything wasn't even out yet. I was just preparing it. And so when these people came, the mom and 2 kids came to my home, I was, taken aback, because I'm like, oh, who came out here in the rain? They must really like this house. These the first people ever for the open house. Like, I'm really excited. And yeah, so she took off the shoes. She's super excited. She's looking around, but God told me to stay close. At an open house, also, typically, the clients walk around the whole entire house. The agent stays in the kitchen or wherever their area is where they're set up. The agent typically stays in the kitchen. That's what I always do. I've never walked around with the person like they shoplifting or something at any of the open houses, except for at my own open house. God told me to protect my kids. So immediately I'm like super upset. So I'm texting Jeremy and I'm like, you need to get home ASAP. And I'm trying not to make anything obvious. I put my phone down. I'm welcoming them. I'm like, come on in, because I don't know why God told me this, but I'm going to believe my intuition when God says to protect my kids. So I talked to them for a little bit, making small talk. We're talking about the house. We're talking about the design. We're talking about the furniture. We're talking about this. We're talking about that. And for a moment, like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take you. I'm telling them I'm going to take you upstairs so that they know not to walk up there yet. Wait for me. They're looking around. I go back to the girls. And you know, as a mom, when you like talk to your kids and they in trouble, so there's a way you talk to them. Like, you're not like, oh, everybody sit down. So they kept getting up, trying to follow me and the people. You know, they're kids. Like, they love people, like they're being kids. So when God told me to protect my kids, I went to them and I was mouthing like, sit down now, like get over there on that couch, like without talking. So only they can hear me. They ran to the couch, they got up a little bit, and I went to them and I was like, this is serious, sit down and stay right here, because God told me to protect my kids. Oh Lord. I take them up the steps. We walk each room. I'm following them each room, because as we can see, this is pretty much how it was when they came. All of my stuff is out. I had not packed anything or anything. So all of my items out. And I didn't really know like if it was like a death energy that I was getting or what it was. But God just said protect my kids. I just kept hearing on my spirit, protect my kids. So that's kind of what my thing was, like keep the kids away from whatever this energy that I'm feeling right now. So I walk around, I hear them talking to themselves in this room. I'm standing outside while they're in here because I'm not like on their tail, like making it obvious. I'm just like walking them room to room, telling them, oh yeah, and this happened. And like I said, the mom is like, oh my gosh, like I'm so in love with this. Like this is beautiful. She's telling me personal stuff about herself. I'm just like, oh yeah, just being real normal. They get to the master bathroom, and when they walk into the master bathroom, I stand outside the master bathroom because once again, I'm trying to give space. I can see enough as is, and I heard the girls kind of get off the couch, so I ran back, and I'm like over the steps. Y'all see how my balcony set up? I'm like, get your butt back on that couch, but trying not to let them know that I sense some type of issues. I came back and I saw them quickly doing something. But I didn't ask no questions. I'm just like, I gotta get these people out. Like, let's hurry up with this tour. So get them out. We go back downstairs. The daughter goes to my kids. And at this point, it breaks my heart. Oh my gosh, it breaks my heart. The daughter goes to my kids. The mom and the son go towards where the pantry's at. So now the girls are up, they're playing. Oh, y'all. The girls are up, they're playing with the girl. And I'm over here just like at a rock and a hard place because I'm like looking at this girl who's a child with them, but God told me to protect my kids. They're laughing. The girl is like running back, tagging the girls, like running back, running back, running back. And I look over at the son and he has his phone like this. And I'm a YouTuber. I'm a content creator. I be on my phone all day, every day. I know what this is. You trying to record something. So I knew right then and there that this probably was a troll. And I didn't want what I was feeling to be true. I just knew. I said, there's no way. There's no way I didn't advertise this open house. I didn't advertise I was selling my house. What are the odds that someone who comes to my house is a troll? Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. On your real estate website, there are ways. I still haven't figured all that out. Y'all don't be on my website like that. But when people go and opt into your website and do activity on your website, it links to your phone. And then it gives you a warning if the person seems to be a credible person or more like not a troll, but like spam or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So the night before my open house, late at night before my open house, I got an activity alert that someone was on my website, which if someone's on my website, they would have seen I was having an open house. And it came back as a spam type of alert. Like the person wasn't a credible person. And even though and that's why I told Jeremy, like, okay, look, this is what we're gonna have to do for the open house, because what's this random person on my website doing? Like, clearly it's a spam. Because when I first got licensed and I had my Keller Williams site, someone was going on making like fake lead accounts. Lead is someone who is a lead to you. So they would go in, you can manually put your name, your address, and your desired house, blah, 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 blah. They would go in and make fake names and then title it like Keesha the stupid da da da. Keesha the dumb da da da. So people were finding my website when I was at Keller Williams, trying to make fake leads to let me know, like, we see what you're doing. So whenever I would get these, and it wouldn't happen that often. By the time I left Keller and I went to my next brokerage, I wouldn't get it that often because I'm like, I'm not active on my websites for real, for real. So back to that day. So I noticed the son did this. So I kind of like, swoop, like got out the way. And I was like, oh, like, so, I'm asking like the traditional questions, like, do you have a realtor? Like, are you pre-approved? Like, da da da. So they're telling me their life story, telling me about their personal life. And, I ended up going to the basement. I ended up bringing all of them to the basement with me. We walked around the basement. She talked about her dreams with the home, what she could do with the home, yada, 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 yada. Cool, point blank. Someone else knocks on the door and they are ready to look at the house. So as soon as the person knocks on the door, I can see the mom like, oh, we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to see you tomorrow. Grandma coming back. I'm going to bring my mom. Like, we going to buy the house, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, okay, like, good. So when you come to an open house, sorry, y'all, I forgot this part. You also sign in. So when God gave me the notion that to protect my kids, immediately my first instinct, because sometimes I be forgetting to say like, hey, come sign in. But my instinct immediately told the mom, like, hey, come sign in. And when I tell you, she got that pen and she got that paper, and I stood over her while she signed in, and she wrote that name, that number, that address, and the address that she gave, I know that street. I know that area. I ain't gonna say where it was at, but I know that street and I know that area. So everything looked to be legit. The name, the number, the address, everything was written so quick. It wasn't no one, two thoughts process about it. It was written. So when she left, I had the information. I said, okay, I don't know what that was about, God, but thank God they're gone. Like, thank God they're gone. They left. The rest of the open house continued as normal, like the regular way it goes. The very next day, I get a text. You on this live, but I don't know if you want me to say who it was. So if you want to say who you was, go ahead and put in the comments. But I ain't gonna say, because like I said, I'm not saying nobody's name. I get a text and it's from a girl, and she says, hey, did you have an open house yesterday? And I'm like, yeah. How you know? Because I ain't told nobody. I'm still in my house. Even my own friend. I'm like, how you know? And yeah, I should have definitely, I don't know how to pin it on the phone if it's gonna work the same way. Oh, there you go. Boom, that was easy. So she texted, she was like, did you have an open house? I said, yes, I did. How you know? And she said, was there a mom and a son at the open house? And I'm like, yeah, it was. How do you know? She sends me a link. And this woman had a long excerpt on the internet where she came in my home, took pictures of my private property, and told her son, her minor child, to spit on my floor, and recorded the whole entire ordeal. Laughed about it, talked crazy, made up. I'm not even going to go into all the made up things because I'm not here to justify nothing that she even said, whether it's false or whatever. So I'm going crazy. My girls are always in the bathroom. Y'all, like, they're always in the bathroom with me. While I'm getting dressed, like, we have the Google Home in there. That area that she spat in is where my girls actively are always in, doing what they do as kids. Oh my gosh. My blood literally boiled so hard watching someone literally spit on my property, record their child doing it, bragged about doing it, took pictures, went and so the only room that she was able to be in for a period of time, remember, I had to go to the steps when they went to the master bathroom. So while they were in the master bathroom, they took pictures of private items in my house and posted it. And I just felt at that moment, truthfully, I felt like I failed as a mom because I knew that I had a whole monster. The very people that I have worked so hard behind the scenes to protect myself from, my family from, was in my whole home. I didn't broke off cookies. That whole thing of cookies I had bought and whatever else I had bought, juice, water, whatever. The daughter was playing. I'm replaying the daughter, like running back and forth with my daughters. And I'm like thinking like, oh my gosh, what if she tried to... So I had to go question the girls. Hey, remember when we had the open house? Like, remember that girl you was playing with? Did she... Like, I'm asking questions. I'm going crazy because I'm like, what the world? So my first thought was, I'm about to pull up. So that's what I did. I looked up that name. I got no response. No, that's not the first thing I did. I called the number. I got no response. I'm pissed. And I just knew, okay, I looked up the address. It's a valid address. I'm pulling up. I didn't tell Jeremy what I was doing because I knew he was going to go in berserk. So I pulled my cameras up, all the cameras that surround my house, to pull up the front doorbell camera and the physical like cameras around the house. I pulled those cameras up and I zoomed in. I got pictures of everybody. Got them when they got to the house, got the car, all the pictures. Y'all know my neighbor's a police officer. I told my neighbor what happened. I said, what can I do immediately? He said, what's the name? Gave the name that was on the paperwork. I said, the number is false. I said, but this is the address. He said, well, you need to make a police report, but when you handle stuff like this, you're going to need the real legit address. I said, this is the address. And she literally just wrote it in. So I'm pretty sure she probably maybe faked the name and number, but I feel like the address has to be real. Pull up to the house. Girl, I pull up to the house. Knock, knock, knock. No one answers. Okay. Let me go to the neighbor. Because I didn't see that car in the driveway. Go to the neighbor. Knock, knock, knock. The neighbor comes outside. She's like, hey, oh my gosh, what's going on? By the way, if you're watching this, I found out that actually was an old address that you stayed at. But that's neither here nor there. Knock, knock, knock. The neighbor comes out. I'm like, hey, I explained the situation. Someone came to my home. They violated my property. They were around my children. This is trespassing, harassment. This is crazy, blah, blah, blah. Help me, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I said, do you know who your neighbors are? She's like, yes, I know my neighbors. And I said, is this your neighbor? She's like, no, I've never seen this person in my life. How long have you lived here? How long have they lived here? I'm asking all these questions. I'm a real estate agent. I'm filing a police report. Just assist me in any way you can. She's like, I'm sorry. I really wish I could assist you. And I said, can you please get that person to open their door? Are y'all cool? She was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in contact with him because she went over there, tried to knock on the door. But she was like, but the car's outside. Da, 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 da. I went back home crying the whole way because I'm just like, there's no way this person literally came into my house and they're going to get away with this. Like, this is crazy to me. These trolls, they go above, like, they go out of their way so many times to try to hurt me. And then they get mad when I retaliate or when I do something to protect myself. And then they call me crazy. They call me insane. They say I'm the problem. This is a whole stranger. This is a whole stranger to me, you guys, who came to my property with 2 minor children. Now I think you're a danger to your kids. Because what mother would bring 2 kids, especially, and tell your young minor child to spit on someone else's property that you don't own? And this is not about home ownership versus renting. Let me be clear. This is about right versus wrong. This is about how we are raising our kids today in America. This is why I have been working so hard to ask the questions amongst all the parents that I know about why they made a choice about which school they brought their kids to, because I'm afraid that there's people like her who are going to have kids like them in my kids' classrooms who are, and that's a fair assertion for me to make. It's not me prejudging anyone. This is a fair assertion for me to make because you physically came to my home and spit on my property and recorded private parts of my home and uploaded it, talked about my kids, like, if you're going to come to my home, at least be honest. At least say, I've been talking about this person's kids on the internet, but when I showed it, because I'm on my real phone, my business phone don't got the picture, but I wish I could show y'all that day when she came to the house and show y'all the long paragraph that she wrote, like the kids were disgusting. They weren't, like, the lies. Like, I'm like, this is someone who's clearly crazy. They're insane. They're manic. Like, there has to be an issue. So at that point, I prayed to God and I said, literally, because it doesn't stop there. Literally, I was so upset. Someone said that Bless Holly sent it. No, Bless Holly did not. Okay, let me finish because I know y'all want to get to bed because it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop here. No, it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop here. So after this, there was nothing I can do. Absolutely nothing. The person wrote their fake name, their fake number. All I had was the pictures. Now, she gave me so much intimate details about how many kids she had, her birthday. She told me every kid in her family, like all her kids' zodiac signs. She gave me her zodiac sign. So mentally, like I start writing everything down that I remember her saying about herself, just in case I need it for a rainy day. Which 99.9% of the stuff that she told me was actually truthful stuff, and that's how she ended up getting caught up with what I'm gonna tell y'all later. So anyways, I'm writing everything down. I'm like, just in case I ever need it. I filed the police report. There's nothing they can do. I don't got no name. All I got is pictures. I don't got nothing. I don't have nothing. So at least it's on record. And I'm just like, my brokerage says, at this point, I didn't tell my brokerage. But guess who does tell my brokerage? 2 weeks go by. I host another open house the following week or the week after that. Either the very next week or the week after that. And that open house did great. 2 people came, both normal people. Everything was normal like it should be. Even though I was real nervous after that. But Jeremy was present. The second one, he took the girls out, and then every other time, Jeremy actually, one time I think almost scared a client away as much as he was like talking to them, but that's another story. They were probably like, what in the hell? If you're watching this, they probably like, what is this nigga doing? Because there was 2 guys that came into the open house, and Jeremy was like, he was right there by me, like, and he's 6'5", I'm 4'11". They were big guys themselves. They kept looking at him, but it was like, I was like, my man gonna stand here because I ain't about to play no games. But anyways, back to this. So the second open house that I hosted went good. Because I had to just let the first situation, I was like, I just got to let it go at this point. Once again, these trolls doing what they're doing. Like, I got bigger fish to fry. Like, let me focus on other stuff. I got to sell this house. So, like, I got to keep pushing. Like, I got to hold these open houses. And after that, my broker called me the next morning after that open house on Monday morning. And she's like, hey, Keesha. I got a great relationship. I have 2 brokerages at my second broker's office. So she calls and she's like, hey, Keesha, how's everything? I'm like, everything is going great. She's like, you had an open house. How did that go? And I said, it went great. Someone is really interested, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah, because I know you had one little incident and I was calling to follow up with that. And I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't have an incident because everything went great. I'm like, I'm confused. Are we on the same phone call? And she was like, oh no, I'm talking about with, she says the person's name. We're going to just say K because her name starts with a K. And I can actually give her name and it would not be doxing because I have a granted warrant and criminal charges have been pressed. But I've never been one to want to come on the internet and make light of something serious or do to other people what they've done to me. It's crazy and it's terrible as this person is and the things that they've done. I'm trying my best to just keep it cute. So Kay is what my broker says, and she says her whole name. And I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. That person never came. So I'm looking at my sign-in sheets. And I'm like, that person never came. And she was like, and I said, well, give me more information. Like, what did they say happened? Like, what back and forth happened? And she was like, oh no. She said she came to your open house. She recorded some things at your open house and she posted it online on her Facebook. And immediately I said, pause. Are you serious right now? And I said, what was her name again? She gave me the full name. I said, are you sure? She says, yes, she just called our office to report you. I said, the person who came to my open house, who says that they took pictures of my house, called you guys admitting this. She said, yes, I informed her that that was a crime and that she cannot just take pictures of people's houses at open houses and that she was to remove the pictures immediately. But her claim is that you went on your platform on YouTube and threatened to off her and her children because she took pictures of your home. And I said, You've got to be kidding me. So she said, I'm serious. So she said, look her up on Facebook. Tell me, do you recognize her? I look her up on Facebook. I said, give me the right spelling. She gives me the spelling. I look her up on Facebook. Boom. That's the woman who came to my house. Are you crazy? You are getting away scot-free, but you call my broker to tell on yourself and admit the crime to my broker? So my broker informs her, like, hey, I'm gonna have a conversation with Keesha. This doesn't sound like Keesha, but if you did go to her house and you did take pictures, which you're telling me you did, you got to take those pictures off the internet. You can't take pictures. I don't care if there's listing photos or anything, that's someone's private property. You cannot take pictures and post them on the internet. Kay told her, okay, I'm gonna take them down, but what are you gonna do about her? We need her fired. Like, she needs to be fired. So my broker just told her, like, I'm gonna have a follow-up conversation with Keesha and then I'll get back to you. My broker has this follow-up conversation. I send my broker the link to what my friend sent me. My broker's mouth is to the floor. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared for your life. Like, you can't have any more open houses. You can't host any more open houses. Like, is there like a little mosquito in here? What the world? Y'all, is this window open? I kind of hear the window open. Oh, Lord, y'all know pest control be coming to spray. I think they freaking left the window open because I see a little mosquito. But okay, well, I'm gonna have Jeremy close it. So, anyways, she called. My broker doesn't believe nothing that's been said, of course, whatsoever. But I'm just more concerned that this person really called to report me after you came to my home, spit on my property, took pictures of my home, talked about my kids, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking on her Facebook. So now, boom, I call the police back. Hey, I got the person. Tell them, like, hey, they called my brokerage, blah, 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 trying to get me fired. Now I want to add charges. Like, this is aggravated harassment because what the world? They're like, Keesha, this is not aggravated harassment. This is just one call to your job, blah, 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 blah. We got to get more information, blah, 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 blah. This took place last September. I'm going to speed this process along because from September to November when we were in South Africa, September, October, November, 3 months when we were in Cape Town, South Africa, Kay continued to call and harass my brokerage. And every single time she gave her full name and said who she was, I'm calling again to follow up with Keesha. She needs to be fired. This, that, and the third. My brokerage kept saying, like, hey, like, I've already told you what you need to do with this situation. Like, I've talked to Keesha. Keesha's not in the wrong. Please stop calling here. 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 Just continue. Stop calling here. Stop calling here. At that point, I filed more charges because now it's a continuation. And I went to the courthouse to file a protective order because now I feel like Kay is unhinged. Like, Kay is crazy. She's come to my home. I don't know who she is, but now I'm like, I need to figure out who she is. Like, why is she so obsessed with me? When I went down to the courthouse the first time, oh my gosh, y'all, this part was so damning. If you're my friend, my best friend, my best friend, my best friend, and Jeremy and my mom and my sister had to hear so many rejections of me going to the courtroom because I did not have any pertinent information. I feel like laws need to be changed because in situations like this, how can the court tell you you have to bring us her birthday and address? We can't do anything. When you give us that, so I'm telling them, like, so people are allowed to break the law, and if no one has their address, they get away with it. Like, I'm confused. Like, I'm going down there, I'm pleading my case, I'm fighting my case, blah 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 blah. They're making records of it. I have police coming to my house back and forth, back and forth. I'm calling 911. Like, I'm like every little thing. So I'm trying to figure out on my own, operation figure out who Kay is. I go to the Facebook, do some searching, figure out the birthday. It was easy. Because people post themselves on their birthday. She didn't have no post of herself, but her family member did have a post of her birthday. So boom, now I got that birthday. And I knew what month it was because she told me this information. She told me her zodiac. She told me she's a Capricorn. She told me all the things that was in relation to me and my life and how much. And she also made a slick comment. And this is when I really knew she was a troll. And I don't even want to call it a troll. I want to call it someone evil. She made a comment and she said, girl, I'm trying to get like you. Let me get the right comment. She said, girl, I'm trying to get like you. affording this house. Like, where are you going? Like, where are you going after this? Well, all the stuff that you do, I'm trying to get like you. Excuse me. You don't know me. All you know is I'm a real estate agent because I'm the realtor for this house. Like, what do you mean all the stuff that I do? And she just kept asking me, like, where am I moving to? What area are you moving? She just kept asking those questions. So that's when I also was like, this is definitely a troll in this house. So we got to hurry up and move fast. So, anyways, I'm not going to be petty and talk about the personal stuff that I saw that she disclosed on her own Facebook. I'm not going to be petty and take it there. I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth about whether I should share those things. And try to embarrass her like she embarrassed me. But once again, y'all already know I've shared in my vlogs. Like, God has always been in my life. But right now, at this current moment, I'm really trying to make sure God is at the nucleus of my life for sure. And God would not like that. God would not be happy if I came on here and said what I saw on her Facebook or my perception and the things that I want to talk about. That just won't be right. The facts that I want to stick to is the fact that she came to my house and trespassed on my property, because when you falsify information at an open house and vandalize property that does not belong to you, we're going to get to more. I can't even tell y'all the third offense because we haven't got to that part of the story. It's just completely wrong. So anyways, where were we at in this story? We are, hold on, let me make sure. It says I would drop her full name, social security, mama's name, and I got it all. After all of this behind the scenes, I had to hire this person, that person. I got it all, but I'm not going to take it there. I had to just hand it over to the authorities and let them handle it. So, anyways, I actually did have a conversation with her mom, because her mom was listed as an employer or something like that. And I told the police, like, hey, her mom is listed as an employer. Her mom owns this business. Like, what do I do? Like, do I need to call the mom? The officer was like, I can't advise you to call. They told me how to handle the situation. So I contacted the mom, told the mom, like, what was going on. The mom said she was going to, because she kept asking me, like, oh, what is this about? So I ended up telling her everything. Her mom seemed real sensible. I have nothing negative to say about her mom. She was very positive. She told me she was going to pray for me. She said she was going to talk to her child about all of this. I sent her the pictures. I sent her all the proof of what her child did. I sent her the link. She was in disbelief, but things kept going downhill after that. So I don't really believe. I don't know if her mom had a conversation with her for real, but that was the only reason, because I know at this point she did know I contacted her mom because she talked about it on the same platform that she exposed all my personal information. But that was the only reason why I had to talk to her mom, because she was listed as an employer and they said she could be served at her place of employment. So I called her mom to see, hey, are you okay with giving me your business address so I can serve your child? Like, they're breaking the law. Like, that's why I contacted her mom, and I never called her mom or messaged her mom after that. When things continued to go and ensue, I never contacted her mom again, because I just figured, like, this is her mom. She probably doesn't want to help me bring her child down or anything like that. And I wasn't going to keep her mom in the middle. I did what I could do at that point. After that, things were still continuing to go down with Kay. Kay called my brokerage one last time. And before she called my brokerage one last time, Kay, on her Facebook page, I was at this point, I was trying to find her birthday. So when I was trying to find her birthday, because I was looking in the month of December, because I knew she said she was a Capricorn. So I was looking in December, trying to see, because I remember her saying she was born right after my kids, around the time of my kids. So I'm looking like, okay, did she have what day did she post like happy birthday? Around this time was Christmas, of course, and she posted her Cash App name and said to Cash App her something about her kids. And something just said, put that Cash App in your phone. Do y'all know? Let me make sure I give y'all dates. She came to my house for the open house September 2023. I looked for the Cash App maybe November, December 2023. Once this case kept continuing, I put the Cash App in my phone, not expecting to see anything, but just like, oh, it's a long shot. Did you know that this girl Cash Apped me back in 2021 twice? And I remember the day when I got those Cash Apps. Someone from that Cash App, which was her, Cash Apped me in reference to Jeremy's child's mom, and their exact words were, "This is for licking the baby mama's name, private part," or something like that. I don't even know what they were trying to imply, but they sent me $1. Then they threatened me and sent me $100 and no, they requested me to give them $100 and sent me some other derogatory, defamatory thing. This was back in 2021. And I didn't respond to the person. Of course, I just rejected their request. There was nothing I could do at all. So this was back in 2021. So now I'm like, I'm scared because this person now has been proven to have been harassing me, at least I know, from 2021 up until the time. So this is premeditated. This is premeditated. Whoever this is around, remember I told you, when all the drama kept going on and people kept saying, nothing is happening to you, Keesha. This is just the internet. You can't take the comments. You can't take criticism. You can't take, and I keep telling people over and over and over again, constructive criticism is one thing. Flat out hate and bullying and harassment is another. These people who were created under the main person of the hierarchy's group festered their feelings out of control to the point that they came to my home 2 years later. Do you understand what I'm saying here, you guys? The internet is a dangerous place. You've been hating me, which I'm assuming, and I know this to be true because I've had to do some more extensive research that I'm going to tell you guys about. You've been hating me since 2021. And when you summarize it, it's more so off the basis of me staying with Jeremy. I would summarize this. That's what me and the police came up with when I showed them all the evidence. I can't go over all the evidence with you guys. The case is done, but I can't go over all the evidence. We'll be here all day, for one, and for two, I definitely don't want to share all the evidence just as much as I need to tell you guys what happened. But all of this stuff, like, it was about the baby mama, like her attacking me. And I'm not saying that she knows the baby mama. I don't think she does. I just think she was a part of that group who got their feelings involved with my personal life and feeling like what I should have done and not should have done, to the point where they're okay with breaking the law, to the point where they're okay with bringing their own minor child, their own minor child, their own minor children, not child, children, to a grown person's house. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. My brokerage was afraid for me, afraid for my life. They were trying their best to help me. After that, she contacted my brokerage again. She had no idea that I was figuring out what I was figuring out behind the scenes. I don't talk about any of these things on YouTube. She contacted my brokerage again. This time it was a terroristic threat to my brokerage, saying that if they don't fire me, she's going to come up there, beat my butt, beat their butt, but she used different words, stuff like that. It was crazy to the point where, like, she just kept calling my brokerage. My brokerage, like, had enough. They were like, we're going to help with the police report at this point because this is crazy. How do you make all these allegations that have all been debunked about me as a mother? Because she talks a lot about me as a mom, about the condition of my kids. When you commit crimes in front of yours, and people are part of these groups who dislike me, if that's what you want to call it, don't like to admit the truth, and that's where we disconnect. I can love someone wholeheartedly and get along with someone like they're my road dog, but wrong is wrong and right is right. If one of my friends ever text my phone, or I was sitting in a group chat and they said, oh, I'm going to such and such house today with Bob, and there's this YouTube girl I don't like because back in 2021 her boyfriend cheated on her, and I took the side of the baby mama, and I don't like her, and I'm still mad about it. I don't got nothing to do with it. I don't know neither one of them, but I'm still mad about it. So we about to go to her open house. We found out she having an open house, and I'm gonna take Bob with me, and Bob is we're going to spit on that floor. We're gonna get pictures. Like, y'all don't hold each other accountable in these groups until stuff like this has to happen. And it's very sad and sickening that I've had to suffer in silence because this took place back in September 2023. I've been dealing with this since September 2023 because I kept on rap. The more police calls I made, I'm talking about I'm sitting at the police station. I'm talking about bring the sergeant, the head sergeant out. I didn't talk to the head sergeant at the precinct. I didn't call. I went back home same days, called and asked for a new sergeant to come to my house. I want everybody, all the police officers to know what's going on. I need this to be on record because at this point, this person has to be crazy. The stuff that I was seeing about her on Facebook was already questionable. The stuff I'm not going to share. It was some real questionable stuff that she was posting, things that she was stating. But then this was the icing on the cake. One of you guys who are also watching this, so thank you so much because you really had so much. You gave me a lot of the evidence or helped me figure out my way to evidence that was used in court today that made my case. And someone went on to that platform to look the person up and figure out their paper trail history, which they had over 10,000 messages about me over the last, since 2021 up until now, over 10,000 messages about me. And the bulk of their messages was all about the baby mamas. Stuff like, because I know y'all probably like, well, what was it? What was saying? What was saying? Something. It was more stuff like she just kept referencing me, but kept saying, because I'm gonna do it, because I'm not scared like the baby mama's scared. Like she just kept bringing the baby mama up, and I'm like, in most of the posts that she's talking about with me, but y'all won't even believe the half of it. There were several incriminating posts of her threatening to harm me, beat me up. A lot of stuff that was used in court today, like just blatantly saying what she was going to do, how she was going to do it. She was going to get her child to do it, encouraging other people to meet up with her to come to my home. People think that they sit behind these aliases on this platform. When I tell you, I have had an investigator single-handedly going through these platforms and having records subpoenaed of who's behind these IP addresses, because there's so many messages of saying, do this, but use a fake, which the judge was able to read out in court today. Do this, but do this behind this, or don't use your real information. It's a lot of, it's every time they're doing something to me, every time they're reaching out, every time they're doing foolishness, they never come correct as who they are, because they know they're wrong. They know they're wrong. But a lot of that was shown over to the officers when I've been dealing with this over behind the scenes. And I'm like, do you see this reoccurring thing where they're like, do this behind the scenes? Because they know if they don't do it with their own real name or information, then they can't get held accountable for it. So, hey, officer, is there a way to subpoena the IP addresses of the people behind this account? When we read stuff like, I want to do X, Y, and Z, or we should do X, Y, and Z, or go look up this, or I looked up the kid's school, or because my daughter's school, in the mix of all of this, my daughter's school was contacted. We're going to leave that there. Several things, of course, that I've involved. Every single real estate brokerage I've been involved with has been contacted. I already posted one on my TikTok. Even when I did my TikTok thing, like that night, they were so disgruntled that they decided to contact Chanel. Y'all know Chanel's my team lead. Chanel's my real friend in real life. And Shania, you're gonna have to go back and watch the live from the beginning, because we can't catch you up right now, sis. You're gonna have to watch the whole thing. Yes, bless Holly. They always think I'm lying. They do crazy stuff to dox me, harass me, to figure out this, to figure out that. So I paid an attorney to legally subpoena every time my daughter's school is contacted, any place of, because I should be able to live in peace. I'm an influencer, but I should like, even my daughter's cheer program, when we switched to this new cheer program, because the first cheer program, she went back and forth. Like, she didn't play that. When people messaged her about my kids, she was like, pull up if you want to. Keep messaging me if you want to. She was that type of coach. I love her still to this day. But when we switched to where we are now, I told her, like, hey, look, like, if somebody contact you, what's your protocol? Like, how did this happen? Like, how do you handle this? So when anybody is, like, I should be able to post my daughter's cheer program without being in fear that a troll is going to say, let's go, which they went to go follow the cheer program. But I feel a lot more at peace knowing that once they contact and they send crazy stuff, it's going to be put on record legally, because it has happened so much that now it's continued to be, it's moved to be aggravated. Um, yes, 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 yes. Every time I speak out, they start saying, "Oh, she's losing it. She's going crazy." No, y'all want me to suffer in silence. And I did that. I intentionally was suffering in silence so that I can have my big day. They were mad about them TikToks. They made multiple accounts trying to attack me for standing up for you. As soon as I took a break with TikTok, because I actually planned on coming back to finish out my stuff, but I was so busy. I'm so busy, y'all. I'm so sorry about that. But and then honestly, like I'm not dedicated to doing all that. Like that's what they like to do. They like to make money off of me. So they love to go back and forth. I don't care about the back and forth. I don't need to go back and forth. I want to live my life in peace and harmony. So I've never made it like, oh, let me make sure I go back in and make some more. I'm not trying to go viral off TikTok off of this foolishness. Like people watch my content without the trolls involvement. After that TikTok, when I tell you they made so many fake TikTok pages of me, of Jeremy, y'all, God has us protected 100%. Yes, they attacked you in my YouTube comments over 4 years ago. It was crazy. Yes, anybody who has stood up, anybody who has said something, they do this. But these are the people behind those pages. It doesn't stop there though. So, like I said, on that platform, we were able to subpoena other records. There's other people involved as well. But we're going to talk about those cases once those are closed as well. I'm not going to talk about cases until they're closed and I've seen a judge. So that's why I'm confidently able to come forward and say this. And maybe this can make people think twice, or maybe it won't make people think twice about their involvement with being a criminal. Disliking me is okay. And I'm going to say this again. If you don't like me, if you don't like the fact that I stay with Jeremy after infidelity, if you don't like my kids, if you don't like what we eat, if you don't like my house, if you don't like my choice of friends, if you don't like how I dress, if you think I'm broke, you don't have to watch me. But when you wake up out of your sleep and say, I'm going to her house today, or when you wake up out of your sleep and say, I'm going to contact her school, I'm going to make a false CPS report. Because guess what? Last Friday, CPS was once again falsely called. But let's guess why they were called. The trolls have been trolling so long that I know their every move. Anything that I do or happens in life, I know how the troll is going to try to get into it and be a part of it. Like they want to be a part of my life so bad. They call CPS. They talked about y'all know they always talk about the girls eating. CPS wants me to let y'all know that y'all continue to send my YouTube videos, which CPS has been, first of all, CPS has been being called since 2019, which has been put on record. Now that I have my warrant granted and criminal charges, they already knew about my case. Like CPS already know about all that. CPS is actually involved right now with another case with giving records of the people think because they're calling by fake numbers. I'm not going to get into all that because people be swearing up and down. You can't do this. I know this. You don't know what you're talking about. And you don't know what a mother would do to protect her kids. So whatever needs to be done, however it needs to be done, I would do to protect my kids. So I would suggest, and it will behoove you to please stop calling CPS because they're not on your side. They're literally not on your side. The lady called me on Friday and the first thing she said was, hey, Keesha, it's a troll. And I'm like, okay, what was said this time? Because this is crazy. And I already knew what it was going to have something to reference to. And y'all wouldn't believe it because y'all hear a little bit about the troll life, but y'all don't have to live it like I do. So guess what it was about? Remember the Father's Day post when the girls were going back and forth saying the things that they were saying? I knew they were going to go crazy and their pennies were going to be in a bunch about this. When Journie made her comment and said, I think I said, what does daddy like to do for fun? And she was like, he has his friends over every day in the studio while we're in school, which she don't even know what she's talking about because she be at school. She don't know we don't even have no friends over. But I want to also say this. If we did have friends over every single day, not just even when they're at school, when they're at home, when they're at the grandmother's house, when they're at the grocery store, if we wanted to have someone new over every single day, 365 days in a year, that's not criminal. It's not illegal. It's not merit to call CPS on somebody because they have company. That's just called having company over. Like you can't call CPS and say, please remove those kids. She has company over every day. Like what? Like what's going on? My mom is company every day. She doesn't live here. Anyways. So they called CPS because Journey made that comment and they tried to flip it like the dad is always having people in the basement. That basement needs to be raided and checked for. And like I said, they always talk about the girls and them eating or their lack thereof, like they like to say. But then they send my YouTube videos for proof, and then CPS, which they don't even watch no more because they already got all their notes in the system. But in the beginning, they would watch the YouTube and be like, okay, they're eating right here. Okay, 7 minutes left. Okay, they're eating again. Okay, where is it that they're not eating? Like, talking about shot. Um, where in the world is it okay for anyone to lie and make false claims to the law? Nowhere. You're not allowed to lie and make false claims to the law ever. And if you do so, you can be held criminally responsible for doing that. So you have to be mindful of the things you're doing. So instead of me coming on my vlogs every single time they call, every time, I don't have to rant about it. All I have to do is say, let's document this, let's add it to the file, let's send it over to the caseworker about this, and let's just move forward. Because my kids have to be protected. And by protected, I mean we don't just need closed cases. We need people to be criminally held responsible for this. So, anyways, back to Kay. So, Kay, after going to court multiple times, after the call to my place of employment the last time, I was finally able to get a temporary protective order granted, which Kay very much knew that there was a temporary order. In the thread platform, they discussed this temporary order, laughing about it. Oh, she's always threatening with attorneys. She's always threatening this. She's always threatening that. It's not a threat. It's what I have to do, what I would expect any mother or any human being to do when these psychos are paying to comment hate. Absolutely. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. But anyways, so make a false post. Yes, making false police or CPS reports is punishable by law, especially when there's a paper trail that goes over years, especially when I can provide proof and evidence. There's a platform where they're discussing this amongst themselves to do it. Like you just wake up one day and say, let's call CPS today. Anytime the main time they really like to call CPS is if they see Jeremy and me posting something like happy or something like that. They love to call CPS because they're like, oh, we're gonna disrupt this. Or if it's like a big milestone for the girls. Like I said, the whole Father's Day video went viral. They were probably upset about it, and it's like, oh, we're gonna stop this. Let's use this against her. I already know how they work, but I promised myself that if I trust God, then I don't have to move in fear. I don't have to move frantically. I don't have to move looking over my shoulders. I literally just need to move my life and know that God is going to protect me and protect my kids. I pray to Him and I trust in Him, and all of those things I just have to continue to do no matter what. No matter what. Um I I have my dad wants me to become a lawyer so bad. I want to be a judge, so I would definitely have to become a lawyer to do so. Um but yes, obsessed is so real. So my temporary order was granted. Kay was made aware. They talked about it on the platform. They actually posted the temporary order. Like, oh, look at this. Look at Keesha. Like, and then they tried to call me a lot. Like, all these thousands of people are telling Kay, like, you're gonna win this. She's just making up stuff. But no one is like, what? Where is the girl? You pulled up to this girl's house. Okay, I know we talk about her and her kids, and we don't like them. But why would you put like not one place in the chat is someone saying, why would you pull up to her house? People are encouraging it. People are saying she deserves to get her butt beat. Okay, so let's take it to a judge and see what the judge has to say. Because today the judge was not smiling. It was no laughing matter. To see and bear witness to the conversations of we should pull up, we should beat her butt. For what? Cause of what? Of what? Like I had to continue to make clear to the judge, like I don't know her. Like I don't know her. What provoked you to want to be so involved and be such a bad person? Like why would you want to be such a bad person? Like do y'all not really answer to God the way y'all pretend? There's no way. And I'm not holier than thou. And I'm not going to sit on my platform and act like it. I do make mistakes in life, but this is not one of them. Being intentionally evil to someone is not one of them. Anytime I've ever done something remotely bad, it's because I'm retaliating or reacting to something. I don't never just wake up out my day and just say, I'm going to go do this or say this or da 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 about anybody. It's always a reaction or retaliation to something someone has done. And that's why I've had to just entrust in God to say, I can't continue to retaliate. I have to let Him do that. As hard as it may be, because this was a long fight to go back and forth to that courtroom after dropping my kids off at school, talk to these officers, have the officers in my home, plead my case. Like when I tell you, I wanted anything that kept coming to my attention, and I'm not going to talk about every single thing. I kind of just want to focus on Kay, but there's a lot of stuff that had been coming to my attention behind the scenes. I didn't want to be defeated. I didn't want to be defeated in this. I knew God said, you got to keep pushing. 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 Because at one point, after looking at the Facebook and seeing her 6 kids and all this other stuff, talking to the mom, feeling bad, like I almost guilted myself out of like, okay, maybe I should just leave it alone. Like, I think she's learned her lesson. Like, let's leave it alone. And I forgot that I even filed the warrant charge at the same time I filed the protective. Like one of the times I filed the protective thing, when she called the job and all that other stuff, it was granted because I provided that. I have a statement from my brokerages. Several people have written statements for me, and yes, six kids. And once the protective order was granted, it was made aware to Kay. Kay laughed about it. They all laughed about it. They also even encouraged Kay, like, let's all make fake accounts and let's call her and let's call her job and let's call down to the city and talk about her, because now she's harassing you. Her job is even harassing you because they gave you your real name. Now they didn't convince their brains that my job is in the wrong because my job gave me her government name that she called in to give them. Of course, my job is going to ask. My job is there to protect me. What job do y'all work? I hope y'all don't work no job where y'all walk in and someone can do this to y'all and your job is going to side with a stranger over someone who is not even on payroll, because I'm not an employee. I'm an independent contractor, but still, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm paying into the brokerage. I'm licensed under this brokerage. Like, y'all are getting a percentage of all of my checks. And I paid the attorney. So, and more importantly, my village, my workers, not my workers, but my coworkers, my working space, they're all normal, sane people, moms themselves. They see stuff, like they watched like a lot of the stuff come into their Instagram, and they're seeing like, okay, this is not normal. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is really, really crazy. It's super harassment. And they wanted to do whatever they could to protect me. So we gathered all of that evidence, and then after my TikToks, after after I did the 35 or 36, however many TikToks it was, a certain somebody went live, and of course a certain somebody continued to perpetuate false narratives, and I decided not to even give into that because I have bigger fish to fry and I have a real life to live. I'm not going to go back and forth on the internet with strangers. I'm not going to try to defend myself and my character. And I know it sounds cliche, but only God can judge me. And I know I live righteously. I know I'm a good person. I know I'm a great mother. I don't need to do that. People want my name to be attached to drama. And I realized after that TikTok scenario, once I realized like my TikTok story was started because I'm talking about me and my experience being bullied and harassed. And by the time I got to video 35, people tried to spin this into a baby mama drama. And I said, how on earth am I going to allow these people to try to turn me into living back in the past? I know y'all want to live in 2021 when Kay first contacted me on Snapchat saying inappropriate stuff about the baby mama. But I'm going to say this again because this just needs to be said because I know a lot of people are in here right now. I'm not going back and forth about rehashing the infidelity of my relationship. Me and Jeremy have went to therapy. We are at a different place. We're a whole new couple at this point. He's a whole new man. I'm a healed woman. I'm not going to go back and forth. I don't know why people want to think that we're going to do this, relive in the past of going back and forth about him cheating and how it happened and who this and da da da. None of that matters to me. The only thing that matters to me is living my life under God the right way, first and foremost. Being an amazing mother, providing emotionally, spiritually, financially, everything, lovingly. I want to just add that in there to my children. Being a great partner, preparing myself for marriage, to form a covenant under God, being an entrepreneur. I'm so grateful to God that God has given me real estate. I'm so grateful to God that God has given me my other businesses. I don't have to even promote most of my businesses. Like I said, got lens like last week alone. Like it could pay my mortgage, but I don't even have to talk about God lens anymore. And y'all are still showing up to support. So please, I encourage y'all to please continue to do that, because that helps me be allowed to deal with the stuff behind the scenes at peace, because I don't feel like I have to come and continue to do content when I have other things that I really got to focus on. My distractions, I don't want the devil to get a control of my social media platform. I don't. The devil saw my TikTok and said, "Oh, I'm coming in." The devil started summoning all the devil's workers and said, "I'm coming in." Like literally, I saw it happen in real time. I'm like, how did I go from talking about me being bullied and harassed to a whole baby mama saga? Are these people crazy right now? I'm literally out of my mouth showing and telling visual evidence of harassment. And the only thing y'all can focus on is how and when Jeremy cheated and how that story went down. We're not doing that again. Y'all will not get no coins off that. Y'all did that already. We're not going to do that anymore. The 30-year-old Keesha Anderson that I am today, I have grown, I have learned, and I'm not on this platform to serve man. I'm in this world to serve God. And I know y'all probably like, girl, if you say something about God again, some of y'all may not feel that way. But I got to keep saying it because that is where I'm at right now in my life, y'all. And it's serious. Like, I'm not going back and forth on the internet with no strangers who don't have nothing to do with me to talk about where I'm at, if I'm failing in life, if I'm a loser now. Take that up with your mama. I can't. I can't. I'm telling y'all right now, I can't. I'm not. I'm a businesswoman. Real businesswomen do not sit on the internet and drag other women down, talk about people's kids, go back and forth. That's not how that works. People are coming to my homes with their kids and spitting on my property and sneaking pictures in my home. We need to see that outrage. Trolls, where are you guys to say this is wrong? Have a moral compass to say this is wrong. You took it too far. And even not even okay, even if you don't physically come to my homes, there's stuff you can do from your own house that's still taking it too far. There's still stuff that you can do. Contacting my job, taking it too far. Contacting my daughter's school, taking it too far. Making false reports at CBS, taking it too far. Trying to research and look up my family, my friends, and reach out to people who know me and my kids, that's taking it too far. So I had to continue to go through this fight. I had to hire a private investigator. I had to hire a process server. I had to spend my own coin, y'all, and figure out how justice can be served. Because Kay bragged like, "Oh, she ain't gonna find my real name. She ain't gonna find who I am." And this is not to say, "Oh, I did what I did," because there's a lot of y'all who was able to escape through for now, and if unless you play crazy again. But hopefully, you just take this as like, you know what? Maybe we should pack it up here. We've been on Keisha's tail for so long. Um, we've been on Keisha. Hold on, let me text my best friend because she had called me. But we've been on Keisha's tail for so long. Like, let's pack it up here. Like, things are getting out of control. We don't like her clearly. There's no reason to keep up with what she's doing and how she's doing it. If you I would love for you guys to come back with a sense of normalcy to say, I've been literally hating on this girl and being so nasty about her and her kids for no reason. Like, what did she really do to me? Ask yourself that. What did she do to me? I don't need y'all to be the voice of the people, because people that y'all been a voice of did something to me. Anyway, bring the God in you. I implore all of you guys, bring the God out. Look within yourself and say, is what I'm doing to her going to get me into heaven? Or is this more devilish and I'm going to hell? Seriously, would God be pleased if my last breath was taken today? The last 24 hours I spent harassing Keesha and her kids. What is God going to say? Seriously, we have to start living like life is not promised for us for tomorrow. A lot of us will not be able to grow old at 80, 90 and find our way back to the church and find our way back to the Lord and say, oh, I'm righting all my wrongs right now with the Lord and forget everything I did in my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I'm here now and I'm ready to change, and now I'm going to turn over a new leaf. And God sits high and looks low. And you may forget, or you may want everybody else to forget, but he will not forget. And life is not promised. This is not to scare anyone, to threaten anyone. It's just not promised. Yes, 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 Naija. 9 times out of 10 is Black women. This is a Black mother of 6. You have 6 kids. But the reason why I brought up TikTok is because, like I said, certain someone went live, wanted to start trying to make noise, all that other stuff. And then we know who, because when I mention someone's name, even when it's defense of myself, people feel like that's me summoning them to come out and make noise. So I'm going to be very careful to make sure I don't mention no one, because I'm not summoning anyone out to make noise. This is me telling my testimony. Y'all already know who. Big P was in their private Discord acting a fool, making noise. And K created an account called Keesha No Pastel. You see the infatuation with me? Why would a mother with 6 kids and no ring and no husband want to bully and harass me? We're in the same boat, except I got 3 kids. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Why do women continue to come on this internet and want to bully me about not being married, not having a ring, or anything like that? It's none of your business. And you're not married either. You're not. So help me understand why I should be listening to you and your advice. A lot of my cheer moms, either A, are married. A lot of the ones, especially who I'm really close with, are married. I love talking to them. I love talking to married couples at this point in my life, because that's my next step. And there's no shade to anyone who's not married, because it's not to say if you're not married, you can't say anything about me or have an opinion about me. That's not what I'm saying. But y'all get what I'm saying. How dare you come on Big P's platform and name your username Keesha No Pastel, trying to degrade me for not being married to Jeremy, but you're not married to any of the fathers of your 6 kids. Respectfully asking. Like, respectfully, like I'm so, like, it hurts me so much, because I expect so much more from my Black women, and I have to give grace to her because God has given grace to me, and I have to be compassionate to her because God has been compassionate to me. I even have to forgive her because God has forgiven me. But I do have that valid question I want to know. Like, these people go on these platforms talking about me and my relationship as if they are just so, like, further along than I am, like larger than life. And I'm like, I'm confused. Like, I'm so confused. There is no validity to your your disdain towards me. If she would have been in court today to plead her case, I would have been more than happy to hear and cross-examine her to figure out, like, what is your obsession with me and my relationship? Because it seems as though, like, the issues are just about me and my relationship and his baby mama. Like, you're just the drama of that. Like, you're upset. Like, you want to be in my mix about that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Y'all are not going to suck me into a rabbit hole of talking about the baby mama drama. or you need to talk about your part in it. You're on TikTok saying, I didn't even come on TikTok to talk about the baby mama. I came on TikTok to talk about me being bullied and harassed because it was brought to my attention because BP wanted me to know. I'm pretty sure it was you made several fake pages to let me know, like, I'm going on TikTok and starting a smear campaign. And we already saw it happen on YouTube. So when shame me once, full on you. Shame, fool me, what is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If someone is threatening me to do something that they did to me on a whole nother platform, why would I not give that some credibility? Why would I not say, this person probably would damn sure do it? They're out of there cotton picking mine. I believed it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to come on here and I'm going to talk about my own self. I don't have any embarrassment. At the time, sharing certain things about my life was embarrassing, but I'm not embarrassed of who I am. I'm a real mom. I have real friends. I have a real career. I'm a real person with real human emotions. Being on the internet got a lot of people twisted about how they can see influencers and what they're able to do. Coming to my home with your minor children spitting on my property is wrong. And I would like to have a troll tell me how it's not. I would like to have anyone tell me a justifiable reason as how that's not wrong to do that. Oh, what did you do today? Oh, so I went to this girl's open house. This is a girl I follow on YouTube. I don't really care for her enough, but me and the two kids, we went over there, and yeah, he spit on her floor. I recorded it, I uploaded it on the platform. I don't really care for her. Her boyfriend cheated on her a couple of years ago, and I really, I kind of sided with the baby mom, and I don't really F for her. So I've been really kind of just not liking her for the last few years. So yeah, that's what I did today. Like, who does that? I wish, like, I can't even fathom one of my friends telling me that. But the most painful part about this is when I was in court today, as nervous as I was, I felt like God was going to give me the right words. I was very nervous, y'all, because I was like, this is my chance. Because I didn't bring my attorney to this. I already got my attorney got to go to court for something tomorrow for me. But that's neither here nor there. But, and then my attorney, I already been paying my attorney to deal with it. My attorney always give me the advice about the situation and stuff like that. But I'm like, I can go in and I complete my case by myself. I ain't gonna pay you to come talk about what my experience was. I think the judge needs to hear from me. So that's kind of how that was. So I was real nervous, but that judge was super fair. The judge heard my case. He didn't even have to see all the evidence. He read through it and it was so humiliating. I bust out crying, y'all. It was so emotional and so hard. It was a courtroom full of strangers, having to hear him read out the disgusting stuff that they say. And when I tell you, of course, the courtroom is quiet in general because it's a courtroom, but you could literally feel the tension. You could feel the energy of the people sitting behind me, the ladies who were up there, the deputies. I could feel the stares, like, as I had to share my testimony, and as because he asked me, like, if you want me to swear in some of this evidence, because I didn't even give all the evidence at that point. I had to give some of the evidence because he had to take it, so much stuff to give. He's like, I got to read it out loud. He kind of skimmed through it and he told me, like, I got to read it out loud. He was so sweet, y'all. He was like, I know this is so uncomfortable. Like, I'm trying to, like, deal with this, how I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable with this. What was the outcome of the case? I won my case. But when he read out the disgusting stuff that they were saying about me and about what Kay was saying about me and my kids, y'all hear the silence right here in this room? Everybody just looked, because I watched the demeanor of everybody in the room during the other cases. It was about 2 or 3 other cases that went in front of me. And I was like, I'm peeping in the back. Like, I'm sitting all the way in the back. I'm looking at the deputies. I'm looking at the ladies who's writing stuff. I'm looking at the judge's demeanor. I'm looking at everybody in the room. Like, mostly everybody else was in front of me. I got there like 10 minutes late, so I sat in the back. And when I spoke about these things, when I tell you everybody literally stopped and was like, what? When he read out the stuff that she was saying, and that was not just me talking about somebody came to my house and spit on my floor and the history that this person even cashed at me 2 years ago twice, and I didn't even have to talk about that. He did hear the part about her coming to the house with the kid, but then he wanted to see if there was actually any physical threats, blah blah blah. And I said, yes, I have a couple of things. And this was just a couple of things because I said I couldn't even, I'm gonna be late to court, which I was 10 minutes late printing out all this stuff. So I printed out as much as I could because it was so many things. And then I had my witness statements. I had a couple of witness statements with me. And as he, like I said, as he read it, I just started crying. I was crying. Like I couldn't even contain I wanted to stop. So he asked me, do I need a break? And I'm like, no, I got to get through this. I got to push through this because it's so, in a way, it was embarrassing because I didn't think that nobody believed what he was reading about me. Because I'm like, they're saying, you know how they like to talk. But I was just so embarrassed because I just felt like my kids are at home right now, studying, playing, living a life so oblivious to any of this. And they mama's in a whole courtroom listening to a judge read off stuff that someone's talking about your kids. And I just start crying. I just cried my way through the rest of my court case. And of course, like I said, he agreed of what I said, but I cried even harder because there's a point of the case where they ask you or ask the person, I don't know who the person is in the courtroom, but they look up, they like the judge asks, hey, can you pull up such and such records? Can you tell me what else they have going on right now? So she had to read off all the other current warrants that were in place and all the other stuff, criminal history, all that other stuff. And when I heard, I'm not going to talk about the charges. It's neither here nor there. It's some crazy stuff, but I don't want to talk about, like I said, I'm here to just give my testimony. I'm not gonna be like everybody else because I know somebody else would have loved to read off my stuff, which they try to do anyway. But anyway, when I say one of the charges I heard, when I tell you it broke me down, I cried so hard when I heard one of the charges because I said, this person could have really hurt me or attempted to, because I would have not went down without a fight. I couldn't believe this person was really in my home. I felt like so mad at myself. I beat myself up so much when I was like, when God first gave me that inkling, why did I not ask for the ID? 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 Why did I not ask for the I beat myself up so much. So I just kept saying like I could have really got my kids hurt or whatever. I mean, this is my house, so I know where protection is at all times. So but no sane, good, protective mother wants to put their kids in an imminent danger like that. And she put her kids and my kids in imminent danger by her deciding to come to my home. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, Lord. My anxiety has gone up so much, but it started to mellow out over these last few months. It really started to mellow out. Even when I went on TikTok, I felt empowered to tell my story. I said, these people not going to bully me to be silent or try to tell the world my boyfriend cheated on me to be silent. They already know that. They can buy the book. They can buy the book. Yeah, she came to my home on live. Hold on, my bed. I still didn't send my message. But y'all, me and my best friend talk every day. Oh Lord, she had to hear so much of this. I ain't gonna pin that comment, yo. It says we didn't know who they were because they took pictures of her from the back. Keesha purchased her next home in the LLC. People are not stable. We have been doing a lot of conversations, and I don't want to talk about what I'm going to do or how I have to do things or anything about the home. We ain't gonna talk about that right now because I've just learned to just keep my mouth shut. Like share what I need to share, don't share what I don't need to. But trust and believe me. Trust and believe me. But yo. I genuinely speaking, I hope that whatever turmoil Kay is going through in her life, that would make her so angry and bitter. That's why I said, when I saw those thousands of people rallying behind that drama back in 2021 and telling people I was wrong, I was this, I was bad, I was just like, of course, the people in my life was like, are they crazy? I'm like, gotta be. But now that things are like coming back and things are unraveling themselves, I see these are the type of people who are behind those pages. These are the type of people who are saying I should lose my job or talking about me and this, that, and the third. I do have so much more information about her, but I'm not going to share it, like I said, because my next point was going to be into the effect of a lot of the commentary that these people like to make about me and my kids and me as a mom when they have to reflect it, how they are in the life and the choices that they made and where it put them. And I think that's where also some of the hate comes from, because it's like I can relate to the infidelity situation that Keesha dealt with. But how is it that she's able to be resilient and move through it and persevere through it and push through, and I wasn't? That's just what I can guess. Like I said, I've sat and I've talked to the attorneys. I've sat and I've talked to police officers. I've said sheriff. I've talked to everybody who's everybody and tried to pieces. I will never, unless she herself or any of those people come forward and say, this is what the issue is, like be honest and transparent. Like I'll never really know like what the real deep rooted issue is. So all I have to do is just pray for them, pray for myself, pray for my energy, and make sure I don't continue to put myself anywhere on social media that is going to have people like her wanting to tune in. That's why I post the content that I post. I want the moms of the world to tune in. I want the people who are busy and active and multitasking and trying to build generational wealth for their families to tune in. Um, I want people who just love to watch a good time, like a mom just being a mom, living her life being a mom. I want that. I want that to be who tunes in. Because if I wanted to make money off of this foolishness that I've dealt with, like I said, this has been going on since September 2023. I could have been made lives, talked about it. Like, I could have definitely exploited this. But it was extremely disheartening to continue to see how this was playing out. Like I said, I had to tell my police officer neighbor to please. At one point, I was like, "Hey, can you park your car out?" Because at this point, like a few days after the incident, I'm like, I don't. This person is crazy. Um, but even him, he's an amazing neighbor. I ain't gonna say anything that he's done or he's doing it right now, as far as the protection of my current home, because y'all know we leaving. But just know he's a great neighbor. He's a great neighbor. He's a great. I'm gonna just say it like that. Yes, these people act like I hurt them. When I had to show the police officers, one of the times when I went, I was like, I need to talk to the head person in charge. Um, and I pulled up all. When I say it was page, we were sitting there reading for hours, and they could not believe it. They were like, "My child want to be an influencer." I'm telling them, H no as soon as I get home. I said, I know it. And I don't want to discourage anyone from being an influencer or anything like that. It makes great money, it's great memories. There's a lot of pros into it. All I would say is be mindful. Be mindful. That's the best advice I can give you. Just be just be mindful. Keisha, have come to terms that today's society is not stable and neither are the people. Move in silence because the devil is ravaging this earth daily. And I didn't want to believe it. I assumed. I said, if I just keep living in my truth and speaking my truth, then they'll go away. And then one of them came to my house. I ignored her Cash App 2 years ago. And she's still outraged in 2023 that she was outraged about in 2021. Like I said, we pulled the post And when she cashed out me, it was in reference to talking about the baby mama. And on her post and all her stuff that she talk about, it's about the baby mama. It's like everything, every word, every other word she says is bringing up the baby mama. And then it's like, but I got a real life. I can't sit on the internet like Keesha. What are you talking about? You on a whole internet platform uploading pictures of you coming to my home. Where's the real life? And I'm not discrediting the life that she could possibly have. Like I said, her mother seems seemingly, from the conversation I had, the interaction I had, and the stuff that I could publicly see, seems like a great person. That's why I'm like, where did she go wrong? Like, what's going on? I mean, me personally, if someone calls me and gives me concrete evidence about my child, I know 100% my child, you won't ever have to hear from my child again. Period. But that's not what happened in this situation. In some instances, you just can't control your kids. So I pray, even from that, I pray that I always have a strong hold over my kids, that if they ever were to stray away from being a child of God, and somebody was to call me and say one of them did da 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 da, that I pray that I'm able to get them back on the straight and narrow. I pray that my relationship and my bond is strong enough to convince them to straighten up, tighten up, get it together, to give them that tough love and encouraging them, but still hold them accountable. Like, you are not going to be going to nobody's house. I couldn't imagine my kids doing nothing like that. I pray to God they don't ever feel the need. I pray to God they're never that lost in their own lives that they choose to obsess over someone else's, especially something that doesn't have nothing to do with them. Because this obsession has driven people crazy to come to my house, to walk my home, to look in the corners of my room, and then lie on the internet about what you see. They even said on a post, I saw Jeremy living in the basement. And at that point, Jeremy didn't even have his because that was September 2023. Jeremy didn't even get a clothing rack down in the basement until December, when my sister bought it as his Christmas gift, December 2023. There was really nothing in the basement but computers and a refrigerator and the couches and the TV. No clothes, no shoes, none of that. It was all tucked away in his master closet. Is just his stuff. Y'all already know this bedroom is my stuff. The girls' room was great. The girls were looking great. And it's like, you couldn't, if you're gonna bring your kid to somebody's house, say, look, I'm gonna take you to this woman I've been looking at. And I didn't watch her come from the bottom. I seen her get it out the mud. If you're gonna bring somebody to somebody's house, as a Black woman, we should be uplifting each other. Teach your kids how to build generational wealth. Teach your kids and talk about that. I don't give a crap if every door was falling off the hinges in this house. I own it. I own it. I own it. I own it. That's what we should focus on, teaching our kids. Not about how to hurt somebody and retaliate. What are you teaching your kids to do in these confrontational situations with people they really know? If you're willing to go to somebody's house who you don't even know, your child is probably, especially the son, is probably scarred and is going to deal with so much stuff that he's going to have to unpack with a therapist as he gets older. Because if your parent would do that, I don't know what else your parent would do or what else your parent has exposed you to. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not going to speak on the child because she publicly posted a lot of the hardships she was going through with him. And I'm like, do you think this is helping in this situation to bring him to someone's house and put him in a situation where he could face charges? Yes. Yes. Wherever he sleep is his house. If he want to sleep on a roof, if he want to sleep in a bathroom, I don't even, like, people are so obsessed on the internet. Be mindful of what you guys share, because don't be like me. I didn't have any boundaries in place for my audience. I was very mindful because no one ever really knew my personal, like, I don't go on the internet talk about my personal relationship and all that. I was forced to have to talk about that. But as far as like day to day, like, if I ask y'all right now, like, what's going on between me and Jeremy, other than the fact that I'm telling y'all, and he vlogs more so y'all can see, like, oh, he's on his journey with God and da da da. What y'all really know about our relationship? Nothing. And that's how it's always been. I live authentically. and apologetically. And that's how I've always been. I want to continue to encourage everybody to just be mindful of the things that you do. Be mindful of the things that you do behind the scenes. But be mindful of the paper trails that may be following you and lingering with a lot of y'all as we speak. Because this was just one day of court. There are still other situations I have to go and handle. And once those are handled, then I will come back and share another victory. And I have no shame and no fear in my heart about it because I don't have, I wish she could have showed up to court. So the judge could have said, why? I don't have any shame of being able to put my name on the dotted line and when I go to a courtroom or call an official about somebody because I'm not lying. If you have to hide behind an alias, use a fake name, use a fake this, do it from a text-free number, you already know you veered off the wrong track. It ain't because, oh, Keisha's gonna do something to me. I don't want my information. No, you know you're wrong. That's evidence number one. That's evidence number one. No one sees her like we see her. You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't. All you know is I'm a mom, I'm a real estate agent, I show houses, my kids are in cheer, and if going to the grocery store, going maybe to an event, function, or something like that, you don't know me personally. You don't know my heart. You don't know my spirit. You don't have personal conversations with me to know my mind. You don't know me. So I want y'all to stop thinking that you do because someone cheated on me. That does not mean you know me or the type of woman I am. You just know a situation that I've had to endure. Being cheated on in a situation where you're a public person, when people can make a spectacle out of your personal business, is not always fun. But that does not mean you get to break the law in retaliation to someone you don't know. And it wouldn't make it any better if this was somebody I did know. It wouldn't. I don't care if you have been around me because she's talking about, I see her all the time and her little miss. I see her all the time. I know Jeremy's people. Like, why are you trying to keep up with what I'm doing, where we're going, who he's hanging with? Like, you want to make it seem like you just know me so much. You don't know me. So, I'm super grateful to God for everything today and for the things for the future. I want to continue vlogging. I ask all of you guys to support. How you can support me through all of this is just tuning in weekly to my content. I post positive stuff. Like, I shared so much. Like, I had a closing in today's vlog. I did an investment property tour. Talked about the girls. We made an executive decision for our girls' diets, futures. Like, it's just so much stuff that I'm sharing, positive stuff, like things I want to make, that I want to be more so the conversation of topic. The stuff that goes on behind the scenes, I want it to really fade. And there's going to be people who don't want it to fade because the only way they can make money is if my name is in their title. The only way they can get an audience is if they're talking about me. And that's okay. If you need me to pay your bills by using my name and my likeness for your goals, do that. People do it all the time. But just be mindful that you need to ask yourself, when you post that content and you watch it back, is this of God? Would God be happy? He's sitting right here and he's watching this video back as I edit. Is this what God would want me to be doing? Gossiping and talk about her mom and her kids and picking apart her life? Because if you feel like that's okay, then on Judgment Day, when God picks apart your life, then I'm pretty sure he's not going to spare you and say, like, well, since you don't want me to do it, I won't judge you. Because you sat back there for years. I watched you on YouTube make money off of that. That wasn't in the Bible for me to. I didn't tell you guys to do that in the Bible. What word was that? What scripture was that? Gossiping is actually something I told you not to do in the Bible. And I'm not gonna even start quoting the Bible like I'm that Bible girl, y'all, because I'm trying to get there, y'all. I'm trying my best to like learn this and learn that. I'm imperfect when it comes to that, but I'm gonna get there because I'm working really hard. I'm gonna try to start like a prayer group. Like I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. We found a pastor. Jeremy found a pastor that he really loved, Pastor Jennings, y'all. So he didn't introduce me to him. I love Pastor Jennings. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Pastor Jennings. Um, so I'm trying to watch, and y'all already know I like Sarah Jakes. Sarah Jakes. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to be that girl. But I gotta take it one day at a time. I can't get distracted in my walk to becoming the righteous woman God wants me to be. I can't get distracted because if I'm not strengthening my relationship with him and bettering my relationship with him, and I'm worried about the trolls and getting caught up with the trolls and the back and forth. Like I said, once I saw that stuff with TikTok, that's why I had to stop because I'm like, this is distraction. This is distraction. Because either most of the people watching this love me and are normal and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is crazy and keep on with their lives. Or B, the trolls are going to be like, but we got to make sure that they know you got cheated on. We got to make sure they know this stuff. Like we got to lie and say this and say that. Bullying, anything that I've ever said on the internet and anything and everything that I said on my TikTok are all factual things that can be proven. So I don't have to go on the internet and continue to talk about it. I don't have to. I want to be left alone. That's what I ask. That's all I ask. I'm not going to stop YouTube. Y'all are not going to run me away from YouTube and scare me off. I'm going to move a little bit and be more vigilant and be more cautious and more aware of the people who can be behind the camera when I'm vlogging. But I watch other influencers. One of my favorite influencers, Nikki O. I love Nikki. That's my girl in real life, girl. Hey, girl, if you're watching. And Nikki O. I don't know if you guys have heard of her, but look her up. Y'all, I love her. I love her. Have y'all seen her? I've met her in real life. I've had personal conversations with her. That's my girl. I love her. I love the way she moves. I love like I really love her. Like sorry to say it so much, but like even I was watching her last vlog and she kind of like vlogged her kids were going to the dentist and I'm like, imagine a world when I can vlog my kids going to the dentist without them trying to contact the dentist and get CPS involved. And it's something as innocent as just vlogging her kids walking to the dentist. Imagine a world where, and then I think she talked about she said her child's school teacher name in a vlog. And I'm like, imagine a world when I can ask the girls about their day and bring up their school teacher name without the trolls going in the great book of world records and typing in that teacher and say, what teachers belong to, like, imagine a world. Imagine a world like I was not jealous, in a way jealous. Like, dang, I wish I could just be normal and vlog and be able to share and include this and do that. And that's not my normal, but I told God, I'm not going to move in fear. I'm not going to move in fear. What I'm going to do is I'm going to seek your protection, seek to be under your order, God. Because when I'm really a child of God and I'm under your order, God, then the devilish ways of the world and of man are not going to affect me as much. Where I'm not going to have to feel like I'm in fear and I have to suffer in silence. Because now I've put up things in place, which I have done, put things in place. Because the moment my daughter's preschool was contacted, you think they did not comply? You're crazy. You think they did not assist me in any way they could to provide evidence to the officers? You're crazy. Because they see me as a mother every day. They're laughing when they see reports of this, that, and the third. They're like, what? It's not even laughing. It was serious. Honestly, I take that back. There was no laughing. They were scared. They were afraid for me. They had to put some policies in place to protect Journey and Jiya before school and after school. It was crazy when it all first happened. So they were not laughing. They stood with me and was willing to do everything they could to assist. Everything they could to assist. I love the girls' school. Their preschool. So as long as I put things in perspective of what things are, then I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I can continue to do my vlogs and vlog how I want to vlog. Not saying I'm gonna just go and put all my business out and give them a reason, but I can vlog my life how I want to vlog my life and I'll be okay. I'll be okay. So I'm not gonna leave y'all. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. So you heard of him. Yes. Jeremy, y'all. I promise you if I take my phone and go downstairs, it's either he got on a gospel song or he's looking at Pastor Jennings. I don't even recall the last time Jeremy listened to his own regular music. He literally listens to gospel all day, every day. All day, every day, Jeremy listens to gospel. And when he's not listening to gospel, he's watching a godly show. I forgot the name. Something about Christ on Netflix, I believe. Or no, it wasn't on Netflix. It looked kind of blurry, but it could have been on Netflix. I don't know. Something about Christ. I don't know. Not Passion of Christ. Something of Christ. He's been watching that. That's the only TV show he's been watching. And Pastor Jennings. That's the only pastor he really. I don't know. I think I saw him watching something from somebody else yesterday. But it's literally strictly God, and he wants me to continue to make sure I'm doing. Yes. Yes. I really believe that there's a time in your life when you there's a time when you in your life where God can take over for the better. And it's never too late for anybody. It's never too late. So, like I said, I encourage any of you who are watching right now to look within yourself and pay attention, because Jeremy realized, like, if I lead myself to a path of destruction in this world, who am I to blame in the next world? Who am I to blame when I have to meet my maker? Every choice that I make, anything that I do, all the people that I hurt and all the people that I affect, I mean, he definitely feels the weight and the gravity of what has happened to me, our kids. Because all of this, like I said, a lot of the hate stems from him and his baby mama, which he, of course, takes 100% blame for. It's like, damn, I put my family, I put my girl in this position to be outwardly harassed, my kids in this position because of the woman I chose to sleep with. This is crazy. So he and myself hold him 100% accountable and responsible. But what I can really appreciate is that he knew that he doesn't have to go on YouTube. He doesn't have to go make a TikTok. He doesn't have to do any of that and talk about righting his wrongs and getting big right with the internet. As long as he moves righteously in front of the internet, then that's only God can judge him. We've done the work. He continues to do the work every day, and he's making these strides. And I'm so grateful that he is being and becoming even more the man that God wants him to be. Not just the man I want him to be, the man God wants him to be, the father God needs him to be. And I'm just so grateful for it all. I'm grateful for you guys. I end this by saying this. Um when I tell you, when Jeremy made, because I'm Sarah Jakes all day. That's my girl. And he was like, babe, this is who y'all go check out one of Pastor Jennings. When I tell y'all, I was in the shower, I said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on. When I was in the shower a couple of weeks ago and I turned him on, woo, Lord, he scared me. I was like, oh my God, I love the way he pastors. Like, he's so good. Like, it just makes you question and think about things so much differently. He really is a man of God, and I give him that. Like, he doesn't even take offerings. He said, Jesus didn't take no money. Well, I'm gonna sit here and talk about God and think I need to get some money. Like, he's that type of God. He gonna hold you accountable about sinning and all the things you do to sin. It's gonna make you really be like, oh my gosh, God is so disappointed in me right now. So I'm gonna continue to watch Pastor Jennings, and I would love if y'all wanna. I don't want to say like make a Bible group or anything like that, because like I said, I don't want anybody to start trying to nail me to the cross with any little wrong thing that I do. I'm still a work in progress, but I do like the conversations around God. I would love to have more conversations with like-minded people about that. But like I said, I just had to, before I got real comfortable back on the internet for real, because I've been super busy. I've been super busy. Like I said, I've been behind the scenes, and I'll be talking, doing real estate work, talking to attorneys, dealing with this, dealing with that. Then my vlogs, I'm like, oh my God, my vlogs are crazy. Um, but I'm just so happy that today came and it's over. And I don't want to say it's a win in my book or anything like that. This is just overall my testimony that with God there, He will have the last say for sure. For sure. So I love y'all so much. Go in my YouTube comments and comment if y'all want to do anything. Follow me on Instagram, DM me. I would love to, like, please DM me. I'm gonna check my DMs, but please, please, please DM me. And I would definitely love to put something together and figure it out. Um, just to talk about, like, for whoever's interested. I won't be leading anything because, like I said, I mean, I would try because Jeremy said he wants me to be into that space of being able to like do something like that. But and he encourages me about it. But I'm just like, I'm so scared because I'm not the one that can say turn to. I don't know. I can't. I'm not there yet. So I don't want to be the one trying to preach to somebody else. So that's why I would love for we can all learn and grow together. But definitely if the next Pastor Jennings sermon, just go look him up. But the next one that I watched that I love, which I typically love them all, I will post it on my Instagram story, or if y'all want me to post some in my blog or on my page. Please, please, please subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and just support me. And I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for coming and tuning in. I pray for peace for everybody, and I love y'all. It says yes, you can. Moses said the same thing. That's why I be needing y'all. That's why I be needing y'all, because I didn't know Moses even said that. So that's why I be needing y'all. I want to have these type of conversations. Maybe I can go live again and just like open up the chat. Maybe I can do that. Maybe go live, because I would honestly love to hear your insight. Because I be trying to pick people's brain. Like, when did Moses say that? What part of it? So I can make sure I make my mental note and understand his word better. Because I know how to be a godly woman, but I feel like I need to know God's word so I can lead with His word. That let that just be how I'm led in life. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't point out nothing if I don't know what the word is. I can't do. And for so long, I think and I'm gonna let y'all go. I think I stayed away from the word because there's so many versions of the Bible. There's so many versions of Christian law and all these different people who've written this and spoken to this. And it's just been hard for me to follow one specific thing, because I'm just like, what if this is the wrong one? And then I'm sitting here subscribing to this, and this is not right, and I should have been looking at this. Da, 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 da. So I ask a lot of questions as a Christian. I ask a lot of stuff as a person of God. Like, I ask a lot of questions as a believer to all the other people, because I want to know your denomination and what you think. What do you think about the afterlife? What do you think about sin? What do you think about right versus wrong? When you ask these questions and you explore the different possibilities of people's mind, then you're better to make more informed decisions about your faith and about what you believe in. Yeah, so Jeremy has been reading the Bible nonstop. So so I definitely feel like I'm gonna get my own, and because I don't have one, I just got the phone version, the app version. And it says just ask God to use you the way He sees fit. Yes, 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 yes. It says do it. Y'all mean so much to me. Y'all mean so much to me. Yes, remember when I used to share what I learned in church, and that's when my life was flourishing the most. When I let the people make me afraid to speak about God on my platform, because I feel like, see, like, now I'm gonna stop talking about God because now they sitting here trying to bring up, oh, but I thought you go to church. Da, 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 da. When I tell you my life, that was around the time, like I said, me and Jeremy first started dating, and I could just feel the blessings, like, and I don't want to say revenge. My redemption happened so much faster when I was really into the church, when I was really like committed to it, and I really felt the word of God or the movement of God within my body. I'm talking about crying at the pulpit with the pastor, like, and the first lady, like, eager and excited. Like, anything that used to happen during that time, it was rectified by God quickly. Like, it was rectified quickly. And once I stopped going to church, and it wasn't that I stopped going to church, I really hated, for me, my church was so small that they decided to break up or something like that. And we had to go to different locations. When I looked up those locations that we had to go to, I was like, it was so far. I was already driving far to go there because I lived in the city. It was in Lithia Springs. It was so far. I was like, oh, there's no way. And then I just couldn't get into another church. I just was not happy. Slowly but surely, boom, not back in the church. That's exactly what the devil wanted from me. Not in the church, not following up on my word. And I think that alone, now I'm glad you said that. That alone literally sent my life into a downward spiral. It let the trolls and the evil forces and all the devilish people get on top of me. And it wasn't until it was too late when I realized I'm down, sunken below, when I'm trying to pray to God and ask Him to change it. And it's like, it's not how it works like that. God ain't no genie. You can't just wish to Him to say, please, God, fix this. And you're supposed to zap and everything disappear. So it's been the last few years, and I needed to suffer and endure because I needed to see what can happen when you remove God from your life. I needed to see where my life could be when I remove God from my life. And I'm so happy that I was able to see it, as hurtful and as painful as it was for me to have to experience these last few years. I was really able to see what happens when you remove God from your life in any capacity. You gotta continue to, like, I used to tell myself, I'm gonna commit myself. Like when I stopped going to church, I was like, oh, I'm gonna commit myself to watching the sermon every Sunday. Seeing God, see, this is why, and I'm gonna speak about my man. I'm gonna put my man on a pedestal right now. Seeing every time I go down there in that basement, Jeremy working nonstop all day, every day. But when I go down that basement and I hear gospel all day long, I'm like, there's no cutoff time with God. He watches the sermon every single day. Every single day. At least maybe even 2 a day. There's no cutoff time with God. You don't gotta just show up with Him one time a week. Cause I'm gonna check in with my best friend multiple times a week. I'm gonna check in with my man multiple times a week. I'm gonna be doing my job multiple times a week. Why did I just decide, okay, I'm gonna just watch a sermon one day of a week? So when you have a man that can really lead you properly, and that's why I'm so happy Jeremy has made these changes, because now he's making me feel like I need to be better, which I know I need to be better. Cause I'm like, oh, look at you, Jeremy. Like, look at you, babe. This look good on you. Like, the godly of you looks good on you. It looks good on you. And I can see it in his body, his face. Like, yes, he's working out and stuff, but I can really see the godliness in him, like, coming out of his pores. And of course, he still has work he has to do as well. Because it ain't like, no, boom, bam, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. It's still a journey. And it's going to be a journey he has to continue to go through for the rest of his entire life. As with me. It says when Jeremy found his Bible on the floor and screamed, I said, that's me. Oh, I didn't even see that. What vlog was that? I don't even be watching his vlogs. Y'all feel bad. I watched this one today because it popped up while I was at the, where was I at? I forgot. But I was watching his vlog when he was juicing. But I don't really even watch the vlogs. I need to go watch that vlog. He's so funny to me. He is so funny. Oh, that's so funny to me. Y'all go check out his vlogs. Go check out my man. He getting his brand deals. Your girl is his manager. So I've been negotiating his brand deals. He's producing his content. He's working on his business. He done got his LLC. He done got his domain. He done got his he's been going back and forth with his developer for his logo. And he's continuing to bring me clients for real estate. That's a team partnership, if you ask me. People always asking, what he doing, da-da-da. When he bring me somebody I can go and sell a house to, that's a team, if you ask me. You bring me the clients and I put them in a house. That's a team. Teamwork make the dream work. I love him so much. And I'm so happy that at the time when he proposed to me and something told me not to move forward with that, because I don't know what our vows could have been during that time. But y'all, I know I'm gonna cry like a baby now, because this testimony that I'm gonna be able to stand before and proclaim about him. I'm about to go give him a big kiss. But I'm gonna get off Jeremy's high horse. I just had to stroke him for a little bit, because for a while he wasn't nothing I could really just be on the internet just bragging about, like, okay, babe, this is shameful behavior. But now, oh, now, and I feel so happy the weight is off my shoulders, because it was always a time where people were trying to look to see, okay, where's another baby mom? We got to find it. Like, not a literal another girl he impregnated, but okay, we got to find the next fix, because I know he's out here doing something. And now when I say I 100%, without the shadow of a doubt, know that the only person he been having a closer dynamic with than me is God himself. And you can't be jealous about that. So if y'all want to know what Jeremy been up to, you better go talk to God. Ask God, what y'all been talking about with Jeremy? You really want to know what Jeremy got going on. So anyways, y'all, I love it. We're gonna definitely come back and do a live. Maybe we can do it every 2 weeks. I would love all my ladies and duns to come on and we talk about the Bible. Y'all explain stuff to me. We watch a sermon together. Or I can like send y'all a sermon. We watch it on our own time and then come back and discuss it together. Cause Pastor Jennings, y'all, he be saying some stuff. If you ain't ever watched Pastor Jennings, that's the most realest pastor I've ever heard. Like I was like, ooh, you gotta go watch him. He's gonna speak to your soul. He's gonna speak to your soul for real. So maybe we can go watch something and come back and talk about it together. But I love y'all so much. Marriage is a ministry, and look at what you all working, making towards. His mom. Oh, I didn't miss the comment. Where'd it go? Oh, Lord, it's gone. I low-key go to his channel first. LOL, his spiritual warfare and retired center shirts are phenomenal. Yeah, y'all can keep going in his channel, but don't come back to mine. Still come back to mine. But yes, I don't mind. Some people have also come in the past, like, oh, I prefer him. If you have a preference over his content than my content, I'm not here to tell nobody not to love him. We all the money goes to this whole household. So wherever it come funneling in from. But yeah, support him. If y'all stop supporting Jeremy because of what happened in the past, I really encourage y'all to give him another chance. Not just because I want y'all, like, I'm asking y'all to, no, none of that. I'm just genuinely speaking. I think seeing his transition as a godly man will really make y'all think about a lot of things. So that's just my personal opinion. But yes, I remember when my back was against the wall. Lord Jesus Christ, I remember that. But there was a reason why God told me it was okay to try to move forward with forgiveness. And it wasn't easy. The forgiveness was not easy by far, especially when we had to deal with all this stuff over the internet. Because it's kind of like, how do I forgive you privately, when I'm still dealing with all this stuff publicly? And that was a lot of the reason why I could not move forward with the forgiveness. Because I'm like, you got this person coming to do this to me. And it wasn't like he deliberately did these things to me, but it was like your actions caused these people to be so crazy and disrupt my peace in such a way that now I've got issues with you. And for so long, we just kept butting heads about that. And like I said, I know it was never him deliberately doing anything or talking to people about me or anything like that, but just putting that into it. And also myself, my own actions. Like, it's not just him, it's my own actions. I could have made better choices as well. But ultimately speaking, we both learned from our own personal mistakes of things we've done in the past, things we've said in the past. And we are here today. I was always told the closer you get to God, the more the devil intervenes and tries to bring you back to him. God, to be the glory. I adore the woman you have become, Keesha. Thank you so much. Jen is definitely step on them dang on toes. Okay, but yes, okay. I love y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go now. It's late. I'm gonna see the girls trying to sneak and stay up. I know Jori out like a light. But let me go see because I think I heard Journie and Jiya whispering. But I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all. Well, I guess y'all won't see me till next week. You already got a vlog, and now I just got this video. But I love y'all so much. I'll see y'all later.